Well, hello, and welcome back to the Chamber Vibes podcast. I'm your host, Foster Garrett, Director of Marketing and Events for the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce. If this is your first time listening, welcome. Let me just tell you what's going on. So every week I interview a different chamber member to find out what they do and why they do it. Recorded right here in beautiful Bedford, Virginia, broadcasting on Grove Street FM, and brought to you by Media Squatch. But before we get to the actual podcast, I do want to tell you about one of our upcoming chamber events. So tomorrow at 8 a.m., we will be right back here at Media Squatch for a marketing event. Something we're always asked in our annual membership survey is if members can learn more about marketing, but there's so much that goes into it. And a lot of times the people that are asking don't exactly know what they need to know. So Woody and I are putting our heads together and we are offering a kind of a 101, but also a level up session for anybody that doesn't necessarily have a budget for marketing. So no budget, no problem. That's the name of the event. So we're really excited about it. It is full, but if you hear this message and you want to come, just message me. I'm happy to slide you in. I'll drop our phone number at the very end of the podcast. So make sure to listen all the way through. There's also all sorts of different events on our calendar. It is very full for the rest of 2024. And we are working on 2025. So if you want to see something from us, let us know. We're happy to accommodate any requests because we are here to serve you. But you can find our full calendar of events on bedfordareachamber.com and feel free to reach out anytime. But without further ado, please allow me to introduce today's guest, Megan Pittman with the Bedford Regional Water Authority.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, thank you for subbing in last minute. I appreciate it so much.
Anytime. I always do well on off the cuff last minute. So it's fun to be here. It had me looking forward to my morning.
Well, good. Yeah, I'm normally better with the spontaneity rather than the planning because I don't know. I feel like people get nervous when they have to do public speaking, but it's kind of relieving because it's just us having a conversation. There are no cameras on it.
Yeah. Someone's taking a picture of us. When I'm actually one of the weird people who love public speaking. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I might start stumbling my words because I've said that. But
yeah,
I love speaking in front of a crowd. And I think it's especially when I have something I really want to share or a message that's important to me. It's like, yes, let's shout it from the rooftops. Let's talk about it.
I'm kind of the same way. I feel like if you put energy into something, you get that same energy right back out of it.
Yes.
It's so rewarding to do that.
Yes.
But before we kind of get into the question and answer portion of this, can you just tell us a little bit about your background and about the Water Authority?
Yes. So I have actually been at the BRWA for 13 years. Wow. And we were actually talking about this a little off mic beforehand. It was a job that I thought would be maybe like a 3 to 5 year stop. And I have stayed because of what we do and the people that I work with. Like, I love the community aspect that is both internal and external. And I actually started when we were the Bedford County Public Service Authority.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I went through the merger when we took over the town resources as well. And that was in 2013. So that was when the Bedford Regional Water Authority was officially formed. And that's when we took the county and the then city's services and made them one. Which has been amazing. I just think it's the growth that we've been able to see and the support we're able to provide the community, and taking over the town's older infrastructure has been challenging, but it needed to have more time and resources put into it. So I'm really happy we're able to do that, even though it's a slow process. There's a lot that we need to upgrade, and we're doing all that we can. But it's been really fun to be able to see the improvements we've been able to make at the facilities and at all the infrastructure under the ground too.
Yeah, spoiler for people that don't always listen to the podcast. My partner works for the Water Authority. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I have too much information about what you guys do. But it is really interesting how the merger went down. And I'm sure you being there while that was happening, it was kind of crazy.
It was. I feel really grateful that I've had the opportunity to go through one, but I don't feel the need to go through another one.
Yeah.
There was a lot of planning, and I'm a planner, so I thrived on it. I had checklists and spreadsheets.
Oh, awesome.
But there was times where we all kind of like threw little temper tantrums because oh my gosh, this is so much that we have to do. But it was really great. We were able to combine our staff, so no one was laid off, and we've only grown since them. Yeah. And we've gotten the best team members from them. So we got all their knowledge too. Mm-hmm. So when they came over, they're like, oh, these are the pipes we've been working on for 10, 20. I mean, if someone retired a couple of years ago who'd been with us like 40 plus years. He
Wow,
started at
that's
the
so
city.
incredible.
I know. And that's one of the great things about our organization. I mean, the tenure, I think, really speaks volumes because
Yeah.
I've been there 13 years. And I'm the director of administration. And so there's 5 of us directors, and I'm the one who has the least amount of tenure of the group. I mean, our executive director has 20 plus, our deputy director 20 plus, and it's really incredible.
That is. And I think that, like you said, it speaks volumes because you don't hear that nowadays.
I know. Yeah. It's definitely kind of an old school way of people doing careers, of staying at one place and retiring from there. And that's one of the things that we're really trying to tell the kind of up and coming generation or people entering the workforce, and spread our message that way, because it's a place where you can make a career with just a high school diploma. We love if you have a college one too, and it does kind of let you progress a little bit faster, but you don't have to have one, and you can actually have like a really good career with great benefits, great retirement. And we try and treat our employees, really well. We have fun employee events. I think the only year we didn't get a raise was during COVID, but then we did a mid-year raise. So we really try and make sure that we stay up to the market with our salaries and just treat people really well, because we can have the best facilities in the world, but if you don't have people behind them running it, then you have nothing. So that's really where my passion lies in, is how can we make this the best place to work? Because I mean, I have a 2-year-old now, and I know the sacrifice of not spending my days with her. And so if we're going to spend time away from the people we love, like, let's make it the best we can.
That's a great perspective. And I think you guys are very intentional with the opportunities that you offer, because we have done different events and stuff to kind of cater to some of our like big events, so different educational things. And earlier this year, we always have our job fair in the spring. And before then, we had a kind of educational event about hiring trends and how to stand out as employer, and just understanding the workforce in our region as it is right now. And I think always when it comes to people topics, which is most of the topics that we do, people feel they have their own like kind of internal feelings about it, and it gets exfoliated like as you talk and talk and talk. And finally, our speaker just asked, why do you think, like, I had said something about young people we don't stick with the same job for like years and years typically anymore. This is my second job, and I've been graduated since 2022. It's 2024. And he was like, why do you think that is? And some of the older people in the room were like, well, young people are lazy and they don't want to work and they don't want to show loyalty. And to a degree, I understand that. But some of the other people in the room, and I was definitely the youngest one, other people who were maybe like 30, 35, they're saying, it's not that people don't want to work. It's that if you don't show loyalty to your employees and show that you care about the things that they really care about, like their families and their friends and being able to live their life and enjoy their life, then they're not necessarily going to show loyalty back. And I think COVID is what really taught people that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that work-life balance that people really wanted. And honestly, that's a place where I struggle, because we do have amazing employees who are so loyal, but we have some jobs that you are asked to be on call, to have to respond 24/7, because we understand like the community's need for our service is 24/7, and we can't drop the ball on that. Yes, sometimes there are interruptions you're going to have to service, and we're doing everything we can to fix it. So you may be without service for a while. I mean, I think about a couple Christmases ago when it was that really cold Christmas, literally our whole maintenance team, which is like 20-ish people, they were stationed throughout the whole county. We're a big county, because people's meters were freezing, people didn't have water. And so every person that could was on call on Christmas when it was so cold, stationed at different places, trying to thaw people's meters so they could enjoy their holiday. And just thinking about just like that dedication and sacrifice, like, I am just so proud and amazed of our employees. And, your experience with your partner, our water plant is amazing and challenging. It's the newest technology, and that comes with some unique challenges to it. And as much as, that plant is advanced and doesn't have to run 24/7 to produce water, it still has to have the water reserve for people. And sometimes that means a tank is draining in the middle of the night, like it was a couple nights ago, and we're trying to figure out why. So our water ops team is going out trying to figure out why our water tank is draining. And then we're having to call our facility maintenance crew to come out and try and do some electrical things. So it takes such a team effort. And I'm just always so grateful and impressed for our staff who will sacrifice their family time, will go out there in all temperatures. And we try and do everything we can, obviously, to thank them. I mean, they get paid. We definitely want to compensate our employees well. But after a while, that doesn't feel as important when you've been working like 14 hours. Like that's just a long day. And we have, we go by the legal standards, like after 16 hours, like you need to take a break like that. You need to stop. You can't do that. But 16 hours is a long time. And it's just, it's hard to see our staff do that, but I'm just also so impressed by them too.
It's the life of an essential worker.
Yes, exactly. And I think sometimes people don't really associate water with that. You think about fire, you think about police, EMS, like they're life-saving, but we're life-giving, like without water, there is no life. But it's something that I don't think a lot of thought goes into unless you're in our industry. Because before I started here, I didn't think about it. I mean, you turn on, you turn on the water and you expect it, right? And then when something happens, you're like, I pay for this. Where is it? And then you start to learn the behind the scenes of all that it takes, and it's like, whoa, like there is so much to this, and it's fascinating and really awesome too. I mean, I remember going to our wastewater plant. Who's gonna think like wastewater is a cool business? I was like, water's cool, but wastewater is amazing.
It's super cool. Yeah. Talking about my friend Caroline, who started this week at the Water Authority, she was asking me about Smith Mountain Lake filtration treatment plant. Such a long name. But she was asking about SML, and I was like, oh, SML is super cool. It's like super high tech, but the tour is not going to be as interesting as it would be if you went to Central Wastewater.
Yeah.
I've done that tour twice, and it is so cool. And Mike is so knowledgeable. And it's just very interesting, all the things that you have to do to not only, because that water isn't going right back to like our sinks or anything. It's going back into the environment. And you still have to treat it really well and make sure that, we're not poisoning where we're living.
Yeah. And that's such a point of pride for our staff too, because the water that we're releasing back into the stream is of higher quality than the water that's already in there.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see where it starts to where it ends. And that's where, again, like our staff, I just get so excited about them because you go talk to them and they're like, we love the environment. Like we love the frogs. We like the fish. Like we will do everything to, protect the environment. And that's, we recently did some work on our mission, vision, and values. And that's one of the things that came up. Like our vision is clean water, healthy environment, thriving community, because and we did a lot of analysis to get to that. And it's just what kept coming up. Like, yes, our number one job is to do clean water, which includes water, wastewater, but it wouldn't be anything if we didn't make sure we protected our environment. And then it's all for the community. So make sure we're all thriving together. And I think that's just something you see underlying in all of our staff, which is why like, let's put it on paper, because that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. And I know the strategic planning process that you went through, you did with Amanda Stanley, who's amazing. And
oh
also
my gosh,
a member of our
such
chamber.
Big fans. Yes.
I love her. And so I was like asking, because Shelby was telling me and Cameron was telling me that you guys were going through focus groups and doing strategic planning, and everybody was getting their voice heard.
Yes.
And I was telling Amanda about it, and I told her that by you guys doing that and pulling everybody together, you enabled and empowered your teams to know what everybody valued and what the problems were, and what they were doing really well. And I think, at least with water operations, they were able to come together as a team. And it just was kind of a bonding moment for them that allowed them to really springboard off and be like, okay, this is the direction we have to take together as a group. So
I love to hear that.
Right?
That's
Isn't
awesome.
that really cool?
Yeah. The kind of the side effects of those things, because we wanted to make sure that we were representing our staff. Like it's hard the bigger we get and the more spread out. I mean, we have silos because physically we have them. I mean, we have let's plant at Smith Mountain Lake and in Central and in all the areas. So I'm constantly thinking of how can we bring people together? How can we unify them, but also like really celebrate the individual teams too, but make sure we all know how we fit into the big picture. Like last Friday, we did an event at the Peaks of Otter because we do 4 employee events each year, because it's so important that we take time to just be together as human beings, not just like, I am a compliance specialist. I am this is my title or something like that. It's like, yes, but that's after like me as Megan Pittman, as
Yeah.
a person, like my thing I always say is we're people, not robots. And we all have a job to do, but you have so many layers that we have to know each other as people first before we can get the work done. So we put a lot of emphasis on our employee events, and it's just time to like eat because food is very important to us. Like, we have to have food.
Yeah.
And just kind of enjoy and play together. So we did at the Peaks of Otter. We changed places every event. And we just, we had a cornhole tournament because that's also very important. We love competition. We ate, like people took walks. And it was just time to really just value and appreciate our staff and say thank you. Like, here's a little bit of break. Here's some food. We have good prizes to just make sure that we're taking care of our staff. And you're getting to see people that you never see, especially now as we're bigger and like people start at different plants. Like, you may not have the opportunity to meet someone before that. And if I can, every event we try and do something that's really community based too. So we have our fall food drive with our fall festival every year, and we make it a competition to see how many donations we can get for Bedford Christian Ministries here in town. Because we are competitive, but it's for a good cause. So we have a prize for the winning team who collects the most items. And we were able to deliver that to them yesterday. And I mean, 2 years ago was really they cried when we brought all the food there, because they're like, you have no idea how important this is and how much it means to us. And yesterday she was giving us all hugs, and it's just
it's incredible.
Yeah, it is. And like in the winter, we work with DSS and we get foster kids.
I've been a part of the shopping for
we shop for the foster kids.
It's a lot of fun.
It is so fun, and people get so into it, and they're spending their personal money on these things. And it's just the lack, or not the lack, but the amount of support that we get. People are like, we shop for one kid already. They have like $500 worth of gifts. Can we get another kid? It's like, oh my God, like this is so cool. They're asking, can I shop more for kids? And sometimes we have like wrapping parties to put all their gifts together.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's just, that's what I'm talking about. Like the community inside and how much people care. It's just not, it's a unique experience for everyone, but we try and make it a place where you're not just clocking in and out for a paycheck, that you understand that we're doing meaningful work here and your part matters so much.
There's so much in what you just said that is just incredible. I want to kind of dissect it up and talk about it a little bit more, but there are 3 things. One, Shelby literally worked like 12 hours the night before the fall festival, and she had the day off, and she still chose to go.
Oh, I didn't know she had the day off.
She had the day off, and she still chose to go because she loves going to the employee events so much. And you guys do such a great job of it, like unifying people and giving them great things to do, meaningful things to do. The things that you guys do for the community, because we've talked about clean water, we've talked about healthy environment, but also thriving community. You guys do so much for not only what you do for your job, but also outside of that. And I think you guys have some really great, like, little known programs. Like, I want to talk a little bit about your grant program, the hydration station.
Yeah, that's what I'm really excited about. And we've had it for a few years and it's been pretty successful, but not a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
So we have an application and information on our website where you can go to our hydration station grant program. And basically this is for any kind of community facing organization like Parks and Rec or nonprofit or like a Bauer Center or places like that. So it's not focused on the private sector as much, but a place where you need to replace your water fountain, whether it's internal, external, because we're all about how can we get our resources to more people. And sometimes it's so hard to find a water fountain too, or they're not
That's
working.
so true.
Yes. And I'm all about, like, I'm the person, I've fully bought into the trend. Like I carry my 40 ounces with me everywhere because sometimes you need that much before you can find the next fill up station. So we have this program and we'll work with you to get one installed or replaced. We do, ask for some signage. So we show that this was a partnership. And then we'll give you certain amount based on the internal or external because the costs are a little bit, but usually it can at least cover the actual cost of the water fountain, if not a little bit of the install too, or if you're handy, you could install it yourself. So yeah, thanks for asking about that program. That's one that we want to kind of shout from the rooftop too, of like, hey, if you need help with your water fountains, like come see us. We have, I think it's 4 or 5 we can do every year, but I mean,
that's still
every
a lot.
year. Yeah.
That is a lot. That's incredible. Yeah. I always try to, people will mention different things like Lee Whitcomb with Parks and Rec talking about how they're investing in some of their littler known parks. And I'm like, well,
yeah.
Do you have a water fountain? He's like, no. I'm like, what in the world? You have these resources that you could inquire about. But just that's that's kind of the purpose of the chamber, is letting people know about these gems and these things that are available to them, because we all become a better and stronger community for it.
Absolutely.
Well, the last thing that you were kind of talking about was growing bigger. And I always say this on the podcast because it's relevant to pretty much every job in Bedford, but we are the 5th largest county by landmass in the state of Virginia.
We feel that.
Yes, I know you feel that. And it really impacts what you guys do and the infrastructure. But also, even littler known fact, we are perhaps the fastest growing county by population west of Richmond.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that one.
As of February,
cool.
Cardinal News was analyzing some different things, and that kind of came to light, and it's Smith Mountain Lake and forests that are growing really fast. I know you guys are feeling that.
Yeah. Well, and we try and work with the EDA as much as possible too. And we have some economic development programs where we can help do some financial assistance.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Usually it's a matching program. So usually it comes to us through the EDA and they're like, hey, we're trying to get this company in. How can you like provide some of financial incentive? So usually we'll do some matching with what the EDA will be providing as well up to a certain point. But yeah, I feel like that's some of the things that people will say, like, you're not business friendly or you're trying to hold us back. It's like, no, first we need to make sure we can provide for all of our customers.
Yes.
We can't give services away for free. And there is a lot that goes into these systems, whether it's upgrading them or creating new ones. It's really expensive. And we can't financially say, oh, yeah, we can just do that for you, because then we're going to have to pay for that some way. And that's going to come from all of our ratepayers. So we have to make sure it's the right thing for all of our customers, not just one select group. But that's why the partnership with the EDA has been really good, because it helps us be able to provide some incentive to bring in new businesses. But yeah, just the connections that we're getting from residential is huge too. I mean, our maintenance team is just always putting in new connections. It's like, here we go, here we grow.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think I kind of we're getting towards the 10-minute wrap up, but I do want to kind of bust some myths.
Okay, let's do it.
Cool. Yeah. So I think that people often assume that the BRWA is part of the government.
Yes. So it's confusing because a lot of water and wastewater providers are part of the government. But whenever you see an authority, that can kind of tip you off. We're not just a department. And it is kind of confusing because we're quasi-government. And we're quasi-government because our board of directors is appointed by by town council and half by the board of supervisors. So that's the connection. But we don't get any money from taxes, because that's what a lot of people say. It's fully from our ratepayers and any funding we can get. I mean, we were able to piggyback on ARPA funds and get millions of dollars from them to help with that. We were able to get
just the train casually going by.
The beauty of this location. I like it. So we're able to get some grant funding, ARPA funds, federal funding, things like that. So we're able to really latch on to those state or federal funds. But we run more or less like a business based on our ratepayers and the rates that they pay. So yeah, people often think that we're part of it, but we're quasi-government. People are like, well, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
It's because the connection from board of supervisors and town council, and then our board of directors hires our executive director, who hires, trickle down effect of all of that. So, that means we do partner and communicate a lot with the town and county, and they'll ask us for things, we'll ask them for things, but that's where it's more of a partnership. It's not a structure of I work for you, you work for me.
I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. And I love the space that we're in, because I hear people who do work for, being in utilities and the city, and I think it's a lot harder to make change, do things differently. I know people complain about our bureaucracy, but it's less than if you're in a city. And it's nothing against the city departments. They do so much, but it allows us to move a little bit quicker and make some more autonomous decisions that we think will be able to help the community more and move a little faster for them. So I like it where we're at. But again, I've never worked for a city or a town, but I love the quasi-government realm we live in.
Yeah, it definitely, you guys are your own authority. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Another thing, I think people don't really know where their water comes from. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. And that's one of the great things when we did merge 10 years or 11 years ago now. One of the things written into that agreement is that we needed to have a redundant source of water because the town water had a reservoir.
Mhm.
They had the Stony Creek Reservoir, which is great water, but it's small. And they've had some challenges in the past with droughts where the water supply got low. And then the county side, we had a smaller water treatment plant at Smith Mountain Lake. And then we also have a partnership with Lynchburg because the county is so big. Our
Mhm.
forest customers are closer to Lynchburg water than they are to us. And it actually is more cost effective to have them connect to their system because their pipes are literally right next door and to buy water from them as well. So that used to be where all of our forest customers got water. But we were able to build a new, larger plant at Smith Mountain Lake. And that's a really cool project too, because we partnered with Western Virginia Water Authority and we're able to split the cost 50-50 for that because they do Franklin County. And instead
Mm.
of them building a really expensive water treatment plant a couple miles away in Franklin County and us doing it in Bedford, we said, hey, why don't we come together, build one, and we just pay for our side of things that for the Franklin County needs, and you all do Bedford. So we were able to do that at a very cost-effective way. And part of that project was running a line from the Smith Mountain Lake plant to the town all the way to forests. So that gives us so many interdependencies of water. Because if something were to happen at Smith Mountain Lake, we can get it from the town reservoir, we can get it from Lynchburg, and it can go to all of our customers and vice versa. If Lynchburg, something happened from them, we would be able to help them out or be able to help our forest customers. So we have three sources, and generally you're getting water from the same source,
Mhm.
but things happen. So if you live in town, you may be getting water from the reservoir, you may be getting from Smith Mountain Lake, but a lot of times it's mixed. We're pulling on both of those because there's different types of treatment processes we have at each plant and the capacity of how much we can treat and how much water is available and the cost benefit. Our plant at Smith Mountain Lake is newer and the technology allows us to make water at a good price there too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And oh gosh, I had one thing on the tip of my brain and it's just flown away from me. Mm, it's gone,
Was it at
Megan.
the Water Tower Showdown at Smith Mountain Lake? I know we
We could
talked
talk
about
about that
that.
too.
Yeah, we love to show off our plans and invite people to come look at them because then you can really see the behind the scenes tours of what it is. So if you're interested, you can just call our front desk and they'll route you to the right person. But something we've started 2 years in a row now is our Water Tower Showdown at Smith Mountain Lake. And we bring people from Lynchburg, Roanoke, Bedford, and it's for middle schoolers to come and they actually build their own water tower. And then it goes through a series of tests and it's a competition. And it's so cool. These kids are so creative and parts are like the different materials you use. I mean, one had like moss covered, one was
Oh,
built
that's
out
so
of
cool.
Legos. Like these kids are awesome. So that's been something that's been really fun to kind of bring more of that younger generation into what we do.
Yeah, that is really cool. I did Odyssey of the Mind when I was growing up. So
Forgot about that
that's really
program.
similar. Yeah, that is really cool.
Mhm.
And you guys do that every July, don't you?
Every July, 2 years in a row so far.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
hopefully the third year should be shaping up soon.
Well, good stuff. Well, I don't know if I have anything else I'd like to add. I Okay, I always have to ask this. How many employees do you have right now?
We have, that's hard to answer, 80 to 85. We do have a few openings because I think
Okay.
we're still like a lot of people. We just are having a hard time filling positions.
Mhm.
So if you're looking for a job, we have a few openings in our maintenance team and our water operations team. And it's a great place to start a career if you're interested. All you need is a high school diploma and you can really build a career. You can get your licenses or build up as a technician. And we'll give all of the on-the-job training and there is financial incentives for each of those as well, plus all the other cool things we talked about today. So plug if you're interested, go to brwa.com to apply.
Well, excellent. Is there anything else you want to add?
I've talked a lot. I feel like I've
Yeah.
covered a lot.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll just go ahead and wrap up then. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, thank you. This was great. I really enjoyed it.
Good. Me too. Well, if people want to learn more about the Chamber, you can call us at 540-586-9401, or you can visit our website, bedfordareachamber.com, for information about our mission and the perks of becoming a member. But also on our website is a full directory of our membership, which is helpful for finding all sorts of great things in the region, including the Bedford Regional Water Authority. But that's all for today. Thanks so much for listening, and keep an ear out for the next Chamber Vibes podcast.